Hello everyone, welcome back to a new replay cast. Today, in the top right spawning as the red Protoss player, we're going to be having ShoWTimE. Playing for Team Big, Berlin International Gaming I think it is. And of course in the bottom left spawning as the blue Terran is going to be HeroMarine. So a battle of the Germans. HeroMarine, one of the legends of the EPT Cup, from which this is a replay actually. I think he won about half, well more than half, I think he won 20 EPT Cups out of the so far played 39. EPT Cups are played every single Monday, usually all the top Europeans play in the European version, perhaps except Cyril and Rainer, but most of the other guys do play. And HeroMarine is the absolute champion of them. His consistency over these cups has been insane. Now this is one of the games from there. This is from a best of 5, but I just wanted to do this one game. As I watched parts of it, I was like, well, I gotta cast this. This is too good. And of course, ShoWTimE, the best Protoss in Europe by I think quite a bit. His results sometimes seem to be a little bit lackluster for whatever reason, but he's one of those guys that, in my opinion, when I play him on ladder, I know it's gonna be rough, and I know at the end of the road, most of the time, there's gonna be a big minus 17. You know, you don't lose too many points to the guys that have 200-300 MMR more, but this guy is he's insane. He's consistent, he's solid, his control is good. He's called Die Mauer, which is also known as the wall in German, because he's just so solid. You can throw stuff at him, but at the end of the day you're just throwing stuff at a wall. So unless you come with like a freaking sledgehammer or a wrecking ball, unless your name is Miley Cyrus, is what I'm trying to say, you're gonna have a rough time against ShoWTimE. Even Miley Cyrus might have a difficult time. We see a core before Nexus. Now, I mentioned this, even though it's quite standard, but on this map, in the past 2-3 weeks, we've been seeing a lot of Korean Protoss players actually go that Nexus before core and then go into Stargate. Now, the reason for that is it's twofold. So first of all, there's no good Reaper wall on this map. And the map is quite large, meaning that Reapers arrive a little later and that fast adapt is not quite as necessary. So you'll see them get the 2 gas a lot faster as well with that. Of course, when you play Nexus before core, you have a faster 2 gas. Stargate builds just flow a little nicer, and you have 1.5 to 2 more workers. Now, this opening from ShoWTimE here makes absolutely zero sense to me. On a map as large as this, building a straight battery in your main base just seems completely useless. I don't quite understand this, because you're never going to be in time to actually deny this command center from building. You see this adept, he didn't even straight away go across the map, but even if he had, he would not have been in time. And now the natural's finished, so you're still going to need to leave the second unit home, unless you want to build a second battery. So a very odd call here by ShoWTimE. I don't understand it. I wish I could ask him. He's going to be going Twilight into Robotics Facility, both of those placed into the main base, and we see the Stalker on the little high ground area as well, trying to make sure that the Reaper does not manage to jump up. ShoWTimE gets a little bit scared. It's like, oh, what if the Reaper goes into the natural, and then boom, just like that, pops up in the main. So it's going to give away what tech ShoWTimE has, but won't be able to get anything done as there is a battery there. Perhaps that's the reason why. Now, this setup looks a lot actually like a 4-gate expand. Or 4-gate expand, a 4-gate blink all-in, where you only get 2 units. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So, usually, when there's 3 units from the Protoss before Warp Gate finishes, it's going to be a 3-gate, or it's going to be a 2-gate even sometimes, but... Ooh, oh man, that was a close call. Actually almost gonna cost HeroMarine Hellion, but whenever you only see 2 units, a quick tip for all the Terrans out there, very often it's either DT drop, or it's going to be 4-gate blink, because you just need to spend a little more resources in buildings and infrastructure than you do otherwise. So interesting start going to be for this game, as we have straight away a Raven tank. We see this barracks is going to be switching up with the starport. Starport of course won't be going to that to that barracks yet, because the starport would, well, in theory it could build 2 medevacs if he had the cash for it, which he doesn't really, but it's not necessary, it's not useful at all to get 2 medevacts this fast. So you want to be using that starport to be building reactors or tech labs, and in this case of course going to be a reactor for this barracks over here. So we're going to be going into 3 racks. After a quick triple CC opener, bunker's going to be placed on the high ground here for HeroMarine. Raven's going to assist in taking out this observer. Should get spotted here by HeroMarine immediately, and if that gets taken out it would be kind of a big deal, honestly. There's only a single tank. Second tank is on the way. I think HeroMarine is aware, or at least semi-aware, that this is going to be some type of heavier pressure. I believe he scouted something with his Hellions, well, scouted the lack of a third base, really. First blink in by ShoWTimE here is going to be denying this bunker on the high ground. 4 more stalkers blink in, auto turrets gets dropped, and so does the first tank. So 1 stalker for a tank. Good trade for ShoWTimE here. Loses his second stalker as well, but so far, honestly, good trades here coming out of ShoWTimE. Tank does show up to the party. Second tank, that is, of course. Bunch of SCV got pulled off the line. 3rd CC, and oh my god, blink forward on top of this bunker. HeroMarine not quite in position, of course, with a single tank. Needs to pick where he wants to go, and he picked the wrong area as he was on the high ground, still stuck. I feel like I might just have to give up this low ground. He still has a decent worker count at this point. There's no important buildings downstairs. Perhaps two depots could be considered important, but there's no E-base, no upgrades going up over there. And even though this looks bad for HeroMarine, let's not forget that once there's 2 tanks and he can actually... Oh my god, that was a blink-in insta-snipe on that tank. 13 stalkers. Of course, 11 stalkers are sufficient to one-shot a tank. ShoWTimE knows that. Went in with 13 and had plenty to go off from. Now, I was gonna say this looks bad for HeroMarine, as you know, he hasn't been mining from his natural, but income has been relatively stable for him. He's gonna have triple mule to work with, and he didn't die while playing a triple CC. Worker count isn't that bad, and it's not like he's still on a single rax. He does have tech lab on the way already. Hell, he has stim finished. I would love for combat shield to start soon as well. He has the Raven still alive as well, so a lot of the key units for HeroMarine are still alive. Now the things that we're missing here are obviously upgrades, or E-base in general seem to be a little bit of an issue here. Here comes a bunch of stalkers in the main base. These Marines should be able to deal with that, but not without losing 1 or 2. Almost gets the stalker, but micro ShoWTimE is a little bit too good there. Still a bunch of stalkers here at the front. I feel like they might be able to do something. How many stalkers is there left total? 13 stalkers. This is 10? 9 stalkers. So not enough to one-shot tanks. I mean, if he has 11 stalkers in, perhaps he can blink in, bang bang, snipe snipe. But with just 9 stalkers over there, it's gonna be a little bit dicey. Combat shield is on the way here. Still no eBay. So we have a good worker count here, but maybe he forgot about the eBay, or maybe HeroMarine is just going to be pushing with those 0-0 upgrades once combat shield finishes. It is possible. Then just SCV pools. It's funny because as a toss, you never really scout for eBays because you just assume they're there. Like you don't... A lot of the time you don't really notice when they're missing, you know? You shoot, but it's so uncommon for there not to be any eBays that I doubt ShoWTimE is even aware of this, even though he's had pretty decent vision of everything that's been going on. Perhaps not behind the mineral line. He hasn't been behind the natural in a while either, so again, maybe not the greatest vision. Templar Archives going down will be for those Archons. Second Colossi is out, third Colossi on the way. Thermal Lens about to finish, as well as +1 attack. Here come gas 5 and 6, 2 more barracks. The barracks surprised me honestly, because if you're planning on attacking very soon, you're not going to go into 6 gas and 2 more barracks. Like, those are investments for the future, and I'm afraid HeroMarine forgot about it. He's building an armory and an eBay. He thought he already had +1 done. Alright, it's gonna be rough now, honestly. ShoWTimE is doing the wise thing, getting a second forge while he starts his +2. I really like this move. This is a very, very good way to upgrade in PvT nowadays. Especially when you're doing some type of Colossi build, or a lot of the Stargate builds have a similar way as well of with that upgrade progression. Almost always we will see those attack upgrades first. Only in very rare cases do we see armor first in some type of big charge lot pushes, or big charge lot plays. Thinking Phoenix charge, maybe some of the old Blink charge, but nowadays we don't really see much of that anymore. Blink charge has been falling out of fashion for quite a while already, may I add, by the way. 4 Marines in the main base will be able to deny that hallucination. So ShoWTimE did see the armory. He's like, armory. I wonder what his upgrades are. And then he's gonna get the surprise of a lifetime when he realizes HeroMarine actually has terrible upgrades. Now, HeroMarine is playing 7 tanks here. I would love to see a little depot wall, just to make himself a little bit safer against any type of potential SCV? Zealot run-bys. SCV run-by, I'd love to see that. Just the quick 10 SCVs trying to harass the other probes. Walk into a single Zealot, move back home. A classic. Now, one of the things to note here is that HeroMarine stopped SCV production for a little bit, so it's not like he's on 77 or 78 workers yet. He's still on 72. So it's a little bit low. His income isn't going to be insanely high. It's just going to be normal. It's been kind of conservative. He's going to be pushing out with 111. Yes, that's 3 upgrades. There's also vehicle weapons here on the way for the Terran. We see enhanced shockwave being researched for HeroMarine. But if we take a look at the unit compositions here, I feel like there's a bit of an imbalance in where both players are right now in their army composition. So we see really ShoWTimE with a kind of a complete army, that Archon charge to fight tank lines, and we see those Colossus to do a big splash to the massive Marine count, by the way. 47 Marines we see on the board, only 3 Marauders, and the Viking count is so low that it's not like he just one-shots Colossus before the fight and then the Marines actually do damage. No, this is an army that consists of mainly Marine DPS, and the opponent's main unit here is going to be the Colossi. Sure, there's a couple of disruptors as well, which will help out once these ghost or the marauder counts start rising. But for now, these colossi are going to be of absolutely essential. They're going to be essential in these fights, and it's important for ShoWTimE to realize that he can't get interference matrix. That would be terrible, and it's really the only way I see him lose fights. Actually, he has 2-1 upgrades. There's only 6 Vikings. I mean, that's truly nothing. And the splash here coming out of ShoWTimE's side is way bigger. Tries to go for the Raven, gets the Raven snipe. Anti-armor missile does land, but even with anti-armor missile, I feel like there's no way I see HeroMarine win a fight with 52 Marines against 3 Colossi. Guardian shields are going to be ready as well. Viking count still only at 6. I mean, it's doing quite well actually, man. That Vikings have high DPS, holy crap. 1 Viking does fall, but he almost gets the first Colossi. Now the DPS of this army is going to be absolutely bonkers, and the way that HeroMarine is leapfrogging forward is with insane patience as well. ShoWTimE really afraid of doing anything. Disruptors do slightly outrange tanks, and we do see the effects of that here. DT blink on top of a lot of these tanks. Two tanks only fall for 5 DTs. I kind of like it though. We have the super battery being activated. A lot of the Vikings are being sniped out, so these Colossi are going to go to work soon. With only 3 tanks remaining, this fight is turning pretty dark here for HeroMarine. I feel like sure, supplies are in favor of HeroMarine, but if we take a look at the armies right now, I much prefer being in ShoWTimE's position with a lot of these important tech units. Lots of disruptors. We still have a Colossi alive. The upgrades are 2-2 against 1-1. Good disruptor hits, another good disruptor hit, and just like that, the tables turn. 166 supply against 140. 2-2 has almost finished. I feel like after that initial fight, HeroMarine should have realized that his army comp just wasn't up to par of what ShoWTimE was showing us there. And now ShoWTimE's gonna have a bit of a timing here with a counter-attack. ShoWTimE stopped with any type of upgrade progression. Actually, no, he got +3 attack, never mind. He continued properly, right, he did the +1, then 2-1, and now 3-2. Now he starts his +3 armor, no shields on the way yet though. A couple of tanks are in position. I don't think ShoWTimE can push into this. Do these blink DTs? Do these DTs have blink? Yes, there is Shadow Stride. Huh. Here comes ShoWTimE, and these planetaries are a lot weaker when there's a disruptor count of 10. Tanks on the high ground are going to get destroyed by the disruptors as well. A couple of ghost EMPs are going down, but a big disruptor hit takes out a bunch of the units here of HeroMarine. HeroMarine still on 4 bases, but losing 30 workers usually isn't quite going to be it. Still a lot of DTs alive as well. Once this turns into a planetary, that might be the potential follow-up play, but ShoWTimE It's like, you know what, I think I have enough to move on top of this ramp and just kind of kill my opponent. And I think so too. HeroMarine with the very late upgrades, and then with that fight where he stayed a little bit too much, overstayed his welcome on the other side of the map, will have to tap out as ShoWTimE wins this game. Now, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you boys next time for a new video. Bye bye.